Welcome, brave souls, to a video through the most terrifying, cruelest, and darkest underworlds that have haunted humanity's imagination for centuries. In these realms, the line between myth and nightmare blurs. Where serpents, demons, and unforgiving deities reign supreme, souls endure unimaginable torment for their earthly sins. Before we dive in, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more fascinating journeys into the myths and legends. Now prepare yourself for a descent into darkness to the realm of eternal night. Number 5. Duat. The Duat is unlike any other underworld. It is a shadowy mirror of our world, filled with terrifying guardians, monstrous beasts, and the ever-watchful eyes of the gods. Here, the soul of the deceased begins its daunting voyage across the river of death, guided by the jackal-headed god Anubis. Upon death, the soul, known as the Ka, must navigate the treacherous waters of the Duat. But this is no ordinary river. Beneath its dark surface lurk serpents, hungry for the taste of souls, and crocodiles, whose eyes gleam with a predatory hunger. The soul must pass through 12 gates, each more terrifying than the last. At each gate stands a guardian demon, ready to devour those who cannot prove their worth. The air is thick with the cries of the damned, echoing through the eternal night. But the true test awaits in the Hall of Ma'at, where the heart of the deceased is weighed against the feather of truth. If the heart is lighter than the feather, the soul may pass on to the field of reeds, a paradise where they will live in eternal peace. However, if the heart is weighed down by the sins of a lifetime, the consequences are dire. The soul is cast into the jaws of Amit, the devourer of the dead, a monstrous entity with the head of a crocodile, the body of a lion, and the hindquarters of a hippopotamus. There, the soul is consumed, erased from existence, condemned to eternal oblivion. Few make it through unscathed. It is a realm where only the worthy find peace, while the unworthy are forever lost to the shadows. Number 4. Yomi. In Japanese mythology, Yomi is a realm of the dead, a land where the light of the sun never penetrates. It is a place where the souls of the deceased, once they have consumed the food of Yomi, are forever bound to its dark, cold embrace. Upon death, the soul must travel through the eerie silence of this netherworld. The journey begins at the Torii Gate, a portal between the world of the living and the realm of the dead. Beyond this gate lies a path fraught with dread and despair. The path is treacherous and winding. The forest is a labyrinth of twisted trees and whispering shadows. Here, the souls of the dead encounter spirits and ghosts, their faces twisted in agony, forever reliving the moments of their demise. The journey continues through a desolate expanse, a barren wasteland, where the ground is strewn with the skeletal remains of those who came before. The air is cold, and the only sound is the mournful wail of the wind. One must cross the River of Three Crossings, a sinister waterway where lost souls grasp at the living, desperate to pull them into the murky depths. Those who fall into its waters are lost forever. In the depths of Yomi, monstrous beasts lurk in the shadows. The Yomotsu Shikome, hideous hag-like creatures, hunt for souls to devour. At the heart of Yomi lies the palace of Izanami, the goddess of death. Once a beautiful and revered deity, she now reigns over this realm of decay and despair. Her palace is a place of ultimate judgment, where the fate of each soul is sealed. In the presence of Izanami, the soul is judged. Her gaze is piercing, her demeanor merciless. Those who have sinned are condemned to wander the darkest corners of Yomi, forever lost in its eternal night. Yomi is a place of unending darkness, a realm where the dead are eternally bound. Number 3. Mictlan. It is a realm of darkness and despair, presided over by the fearsome deities Mictlantecuhtli and Mictlantecuhtli. It is said that the souls of the dead must traverse this treacherous underworld to reach their final rest. The path through Aztec underworld begins with the descent into the dark tunnel that marks the threshold between the living world and the underworld. The first level, Apanohuaya, is a river of blood. Here, the soul must struggle against the fierce currents and the grasping hands of the damned, trying to drag it into the depths. On the second level, Tepemi Mona Mictlan, the soul faces the crushing embrace of two colossal mountains that collide with each other. The soul must time its passage perfectly to avoid being smashed between them. The third level, Iztapetl, presents a mountain of razor-sharp obsidian blades. Every step is agony, as the soul must climb this treacherous peak, enduring the searing pain of the blades. The fourth level, Itzehakayan, is a freezing plain, swept by icy gales. The winds are so cold they cut through flesh like knives, testing the endurance of the soul. In the fifth level, Panyakatakoyan, the soul must navigate through a landscape of collapsing mountains that continuously fall apart and reform, threatening to trap and crush the unwary. The sixth level, Timiminaloayan, is a valley of arrows. The soul must avoid being pierced by the relentless barrage of arrows shot from unseen hands. At the seventh level, Tio Koyokualoa, the soul is devoured by ferocious wild beasts, only to be reconstituted and forced to continue its harrowing journey. The eighth level, Mictlan Apochkalolka, is a vast expanse of boiling water. The soul must wade through these scalding waters. Finally, the soul arrives at the ninth level, Chikunamictlan. Here, it encounters Mictlantecuhtli and Mictlantecuhtli in their dark, foreboding palace. The gods of death preside over the final judgment, determining whether the soul has endured enough to find rest. Number 2, Xibalba. It is so horrifying that its very name means place of fear, a nightmare brought to life, ruled by the death gods and their monstrous servants. To enter Xibalba is to step into a realm where every shadow conceals a threat and every step brings new torments. The journey begins as the soul descends into the darkness, passing through the blood river, where the waters run red and serpents lie in wait. In the dark house, the soul is enveloped in complete darkness. Unseen creatures brush past and whispering voices taunt and terrify, threatening to drive the soul to madness. The rattling house is a cacophony of noise. The deafening sound of constant rattles disorients and torments the soul, making every step an agony of confusion and fear. In the jaguar house, the soul is hunted by ferocious jaguars, their glowing eyes piercing the darkness. These deadly predators stalk and attack. The bat house is a nightmare of wings and fangs. Monstrous bats with razor-sharp claws and teeth swoop down from the shadows, each attack more vicious than the last. In the cold house, the soul is subjected to unbearable cold. Biting winds cut through, freezing the flesh and sapping the very will to continue. The razor house is a gauntlet of death. Swinging blades slice through the air, each one capable of ending the soul's journey in a heartbeat. In the firehouse, the soul is surrounded by flames. The heat is relentless, scorching the flesh and burning with a fury that seems almost alive. Finally, the soul arrives at the throne room of the lords of Xibalba, Hun Kam and Vukub Kam. These sinister figures exude an aura of pure malevolence, their eyes gleaming with a cold, calculating evil. In their presence, the soul is judged. The lords of Xibalba take pleasure in the suffering of those who enter their realm, and their judgment is as final as it is cruel. Number 1. Naraka. This Hindu underworld is a complex and terrifying underworld, divided into multiple realms, each designed to punish a specific sin. Here, the souls of the damned are subjected to tortures beyond human comprehension. In Raurava, those who caused pain and suffering to others through deceit and betrayal are tormented by fierce, ravenous serpents whose bites inflict excruciating pain. Shukara is reserved for those who abuse their power and authority for personal gain. Here, souls are boiled alive in cauldrons of hot oil, their screams echoing through the infernal halls. Tamizra punishes those who stole from their own family or committed acts of betrayal. Souls in this realm are starved and beaten, trapped in blinding darkness, reliving their treachery endlessly. Kumbhipaka is a realm of unimaginable cruelty for those who inflicted suffering on animals. Here, souls are cooked alive in boiling oil, their flesh searing and blistering. Kalasutra is a realm of extremes, where souls who disrespected their elders and parents endure scorching heat during the day and freezing cold at night. In Asipatravana, those who engaged in corruption and deceit are whipped and cut by sword-like leaves. Each lash and slice is a punishment for their dishonesty and greed. Andhatamizra is a realm of perpetual darkness for those who broke marital vows and committed adultery. Souls here lose their senses, stumbling through the abyss in utter agony. Maharaurava is home to demonic beasts called Rurus, who torment those who inflicted great pain for pleasure. Sukaramukha is the realm for those who bore false witness. Souls here are crushed and mauled by wild boars, each attack a reminder of their lies and deceit. Taptasurmi punishes those guilty of sexual violence and exploitation. Souls in this realm are lashed with heated iron whips. Vaitarani is a river of blood and excrement for those who committed severe acts of violence. Souls must cross this foul river, tormented by ferocious creatures with each step. Puyoda punishes the excessively greedy and selfish. Souls here are immersed in a pool of pus, blood, urine, and feces, enduring the filth and stench of their own greed. Lalabhaksa punishes the gluttonous. Souls here are fed with red-hot iron balls, their insides burning with the unending fire of their excessive indulgence. Naraka is a place of unending torment and despair. It is a haunting reminder of the fate that awaits those who stray from the path of righteousness. As we leave behind the haunting realms of the underworld, we are reminded of the terrors that await those who stray from the path of righteousness. These nightmarish visions serve as a chilling reminder of the fate that lies beyond the veil of death. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the most terrifying realms of the afterlife. Until next time, may you find peace in the light and avoid the shadows of the underworld.